Are you having a problem in your dating or relationship life and you need a question answered? Well, go to my website. The link is in the podcast description, and you'll see how you can ask Yaz a question and get it answered confidentially. So go to the podcast description and look for the link where it talks about how Yaz will answer your question. Hi, you guys, it's Yaz, and today I want to talk about casual sex. Is casual sex a bad thing? Okay, here's the thing with casual sex, you guys. The problem with casual sex is that as human beings, we all have feelings, okay? It's very hard to separate sex from the feeling of intimacy. Now, there are some people that can do it, and it's easier for men to do it than it is for women. Although there are a few women that can do it. But the point I'm trying to make is this. A lot of people are misguided out there, and they feel like, I could just go out and have sex and have fun. This is the hookup culture, and everybody does that and everything like that. Yeah, sure, you can go do that, but don't expect a relationship. Don't expect a relationship, okay? Because if you want to know the reality of it, most women, when they have a hookup, they can't just let it go at a hookup. That's why a lot of friends with benefits, a lot of women will sit there and expect like, hey, we're hooking up. Everything's great. Why can't we have the relationship? Because you got classified as a hookup. You didn't build up the communication or the connection, the mental connection and the conversation with that person. You jumped right into hookups. So that person, what's the benefit of being in a relationship with you? The benefit is the sex, okay? So if you're giving the sex out so free, they're going to say, well, they must do that with everybody else, okay? Or they don't value themselves because they're so quick to spread their legs for, just to get off or whatever. And if they could do that so easily with me, if I'm in a relationship, how do I know they're not going to do that with somebody else once they're in a relationship with me? See, this is the reality of it, you guys. And the other reality is this. Yes, some people won't judge you, but a lot of people are going to judge you. That's just the fact. That's just the way society is. Yes, I'm sorry to say it. There still is a double standard. You guys. So here's the thing. If you're somebody who wants to go out and have hookups and you're saying to yourself, you know what? Nobody wants relationships. I'm just going to do hookups and everything like that. You could go out and you could have like 100 hookups. But the thing is, after you're all done doing that, how are you going to feel? Are you going to feel like that's great? Because the reality is you're sleeping with different people that really don't care about you. They don't care about what you do. They don't care about if you're having a bad day. They don't care about what you're going through. That's why we had in our group, we had a woman who was on there who was saying something like, I'm friends with benefits with this guy, and, he doesn't even ask me how I am, and he doesn't even return my call about getting together because you're a friends with benefits. You're not in a relationship. There's a difference. Now, if you're somebody who could turn that off and just have the no strings kind of thing going on, that's one thing. But the way we are wired is not for that. That's the thing. And if you're somebody who's looking to, build a foundation with somebody, get married to somebody, have children with somebody, just doing hookups, where are you going to go with that? Yeah, you're going to have what? You're going to have like an hour of gratification, and then how are you going to feel after that? And then you got to worry, if that person doesn't use a condom, where's that person been? And what STD has that person given you? Okay? I mean, it's really up to the individual. The thing is, my issue with this, you guys, is this. If you're going to do that, you have to be somebody who really does not get attached and not expect anything. And that's the problem with a lot of the women out there. They think they can go out, they could have, a good time with everybody, and then they wonder why the guy never calls them. Or he only calls when he's looking for sex. Because you went the other way, okay? You went the other way. You decided to have sex without, letting that person get to know you. You had no boundaries, zero boundaries. And that's the problem with casual sex. Zero boundaries, all right? When people go into relationships and everything like that, unless they're a real free spirit, all right, they're gonna look at you and they're gonna say, does she respect herself? Does she respect herself? Is she that much of a freak that just wants to, have sex and have great sex with her, and she just wants to have sex and all this other things, and, I don't have to work towards the relationship. But the problem with that is they're going to label you kind of like a freak, all right? What's the problem with that? The problem with that is that's all you are. You're just a freak in the bedroom. You're just an easy person to get over on. You're just somebody for them to come over and nut in you, okay? That's all you are. You're just a piece of meat. That's the reality of it, you guys. You could sit there and you could build it up in your head and say, oh, no, well, we're having fun and everything like that. Fine. You want to take that attitude and you want to say, okay, well, you know what? I'm just going to have fun. I'm just going to sleep around and everything like that. If you could do that and then say to yourself, well, I'm not looking for any relationship down the line, that's one thing. But a lot of people don't do that, you guys, and especially women. Eventually, they want to have children. They want the security. They want the foundation. They don't want to be 50 years old hooking up, all right? Not only that, you're wasting your time. You're wasting your time. You're giving away a benefit for free, all right? What's the benefit? The benefit is your body, all right? Hookers are valued higher than that. All right. Believe me when I tell you, I have a lot of male friends and they will tell you the same thing. Hookers, they look at a hooker, at least she's a working girl and, she's doing this as her hustle. She's not just doing it, to get off. So, that's the problem with casual sex. That's the problem with casual sex, you guys. Unless you want to live in a society where there is no foundation, there is no foundation for children, unless you want to live in a society where you want to be a single parent if you want children or something like that. And then, you don't have to worry about working on a relationship and all of that. Now, there's something that I have to bring up to you guys, all right? I've been around the block, believe me when I tell you, more times than one. But here's the thing, you guys. Here is the thing. You cannot equate great sex with the fact that that person really loves you or that person really likes you. And this is what a lot of women do, and especially a lot of young women, because they don't have the experience to know. They think, oh, he had fantastic sex with me. Oh, he really likes me. Oh, we have a fabulous time. It's so explosive. All right. There's a difference between having great sex with somebody and somebody loving you. Okay. Great sex does not equate being in love. This is what you got to understand. This is what you've got to understand. Because a guy could have great sex with you and have great sex with 15 other women, all right? That doesn't mean that you're any different, that you're any more special than anybody else, okay? Sex is so easy to attain today. So don't sit there and think, oh, I'm hooking up. We're having this terrific sex. I know he really cares about me because the sex is just fantastic. No, all it is sex. It's completely a different entity from the relationship aspect of it, okay? The relationship aspect is building the intimacy, the connection that you have mentally between the two of you, all right? the things that you have in common, enjoying each other's company when you're not having sex. Because you could have fantastic sex with somebody. You could be hooking up with somebody, and then after you have the sex, you can't even sit and watch a movie with them, all right? Because you have nothing to talk about. That's not how you build with somebody. That's just casual sex. And this is where a lot of women, they miss the mark, because they'll invite a guy over. The guy hasn't worked for getting to know her. She's made it easy, inviting him over to her place. They have terrific sex, okay? And then what happens? The guy leaves after an hour of having sex, or doesn't spend the night, or the next morning he's out the door, okay? Because in his brain, if you haven't built up that connection with him, he's out. He's out, okay? After he's, come and everything like that, now, that's why a lot of men, they'll pull away. They'll pull away. You don't have that connection with them, all right? Because you had the dessert before having the meal. This is the problem, you guys. You haven't given that person a chance to connect with you, all right? Having great sex is not a connection to building a relationship. This is the difference. The other thing I want to also bring up is this, you guys. When you start talking to somebody and they bring up sex initially, like I've said 1,000 times in my prior podcasts, sex is what they want from you. It's not that they want a relationship. It doesn't go the other way. And not only that, when they bring up sex right away, they are disrespecting you. They are disrespecting you. They are looking at you in a different light than if they were to start talking to you and find out about the inner you of who you are as a person. And that's why I always tell you, if a person really cares about you and is interested in something long-term with you, they are going to ask questions about you. They're going to get into who you are, okay? But a person that's just looking for a hookup from you doesn't care. These people will not ask you, they don't care how your day was. They don't care what you do for a living. They don't care about what you went through with your exes. That's why a lot of them don't even ask those questions. That's not what you're there for. You are just there as a sexual object. That's what you are, a sexual object. And a lot of women, they get fooled by that because a lot of these guys are very smooth. They'll sit there and they'll talk to the women and, they'll entice her and say, oh, you're so sexy. I love the way, your ass looks in that picture of that dress. Can you send me more pictures? And then what they do is they test you. They say to themselves, they send little things. Oh, I'd love to give you a massage. Okay, this is a big one that they do. They talk about, oh, if it's a rainy day, oh, it'd be so nice to cuddle together. Meanwhile, they haven't asked you, they don't even know how many kids you have, or how long you've been single, or anything about you. But hey, I'd love to cuddle in the bed with you, okay? Because you are a sexual object, and that's what the thing with casual sex, all right? Is it a bad thing? It depends on who you are, okay? And it's like I told you before. If you're not ever looking to have a foundation, you're not ever looking to be in a serious relationship, and you want to live the rest of your life just hooking up, that's one thing. But if you're looking to have a companion or build with somebody, when you do the hookup culture, you're creating a society where it's breaking down the family, it's breaking down the marriage and everything like that. And, what it's doing is, women with becoming more masculine are liberating the men. And now the men don't have to work. They're getting the benefits of sex without having to work for a relationship. Okay? And the difference is, if you're somebody who's looking for a family, the difference is a man generally can wait longer to have children, whereas women feel that they're on a biological clock. Although you could always, freeze your eggs later, you could adopt and stuff like that. But now you're going into a totally different kind of dynamic, okay? If you're looking for more, you're somebody who's all about family and family values and stuff like that, being part of a hookup culture, you're breaking that down. That's why so many single girls today that are in their late 20s, early 30s are having a hard time meeting someone to settle down and have a child with, because a lot of them want to have children. A lot of them don't want to wait till they're older and have to do in vitro fertilization or have to worry, being an older mother or something like that, okay? So when you do the hookup culture, what you're doing is you're creating an environment where these guys don't have to be in relationships. And people say, oh, why don't guys want relationships? Or why do guys send dick pictures? Okay? Because there's women out there that are getting freaky with it. And as long as there's women out there getting freaky with it, they're not going to commit to you and have to put the work in. That's the sad reality of it, you guys. And you gotta, you can't just, you can't just let it go and say, you know what, I'm just going to become part of that, because, you're going to have a hard time later on finding a relationship. This is what I'm trying to tell you guys. Now, one other thing I want to bring up to you guys with the problem with casual sex, a casual sex type of society. What you have now is you have a lot of married men, and you got married women too. It goes the other way too, all right? It's not just all the married men. There's plenty of married women out there doing the same thing. There's a lot of married women on the dating apps. There's a lot of married men on the dating apps. There's a lot of people in relationship. That's why I told you the dating apps are not a good place to find somebody, because most of these people are in relationships or they have a situationship already, okay? They're just out there hunting more sex because they always want something new. But the problem with casual sex is that if there's so much casual sex in society, it is breaking down families and marriages. And I see this in my group because we have one of our groups is a divorce group with a lot of parents and everything like that. And a lot of them are divorced because of cheating and everything like that. Why? Because it's so easy today. Because they're on social media, they're in DMs, and getting sex is very easy. I've asked a lot of my male friends, how easy is it to hook up with women? They said, oh my God, it's so easy. It's so easy, okay? So what happens now? Now you have marriages that break down. Now you have more divorces. And what do you have now? You have broken families. You have children that are in one-parent households. Children who have psychological issues because of arguing between parents, okay? And it affects children. I've seen it, all right? So do I think casual sex is a bad thing? Personally, okay, it's a personal choice somebody makes, but personally, I think that when you have sex with somebody, it should mean something. You are giving your body to somebody, okay? So if you value yourself and you're a person of values, you don't give it away so free and easy, okay? You don't give in easy to the pleasures of the flesh, okay? All right. And believe me when I tell you, it has to do with how mentally strong you are. Now, some people will argue this with me. I had an attorney friend of mine. We got into a big debate over this. And he said, well, I feel that if somebody wants to just have casual sex, they could have casual sex, and that's fine. I said, okay, that's how you feel. I said, how do you feel about your daughter doing that? How do you feel about your daughter never getting married? How do you feel about your daughter sleeping with a guy that has no commitment with her, and he's sleeping with 10 other people? Are you okay with that? Are you worried about your daughter catching an STD? Okay? These are all the issues that come into play with these kind of things, you guys. All right? And when you catch an STD, sometimes it makes it harder to have children later on. All right? So you have to think of the big picture. You have to think of the big picture. But it's a personal preference that you make. And, I'm not going to tell you what you should and you shouldn't do, because everybody has the right to do what they want to do. Okay. But I'm just telling you what could happen and, why it's so difficult today. And you have, casual sex. You have plenty of casual sex going on today, but you also have a lot of people having casual sex that are very lonely. I see them in the groups, okay? They're hooking up, but yet they're very much alone, and they do want relationships. And they can't find relationships because of all the easy, accessible sex out there. They do want somebody that they could sit and relax on a Sunday and watch TV with and enjoy each other's company, that the person doesn't just has sex and takes off on them, or they feel like they don't know where that person is or who they're having sex with. Because as human beings, we have emotional feelings and connections, okay? We can't just turn off to things. I mean, you could turn off, for a while, but not the rest of your life. Eventually, you're going to want to have a human connection with somebody, all right? So this is what I'm telling you, you guys. I hope that helps you. If you like the podcast, please hit the subscribe button and share the podcast, and have a great day. Hi, you guys, it's Yaz. I want to tell you about my 2 books that are on Amazon, okay? You can download them free with the trial membership from Kindle. The first book is Regain Your Power. If you're in a relationship and you feel like your partner has all the control in the relationship, maybe you're walking around on eggshells, you're afraid to approach them, it's going to tell you how to regain your power and be happy in the relationship, okay? And what you may be doing wrong, and that's why your partner has all the control in the relationship. The other book is Signs He's Not Into You, He's Wasting Your Time. There's a lot of people that are dating someone or in a relationship with somebody who's not really vested in the relationship. And we often are confused as to whether our partner really likes us or is into us or wants a future with us. And this book is going to give you signs and red flags of whether your partner is into you or he's just basically drifting and wasting your time. So go to Amazon and download the Kindle free trial membership. Doesn't cost you anything. And check it out. It may help you. Okay? And have a great day. Audible is offering listeners a 30-day trial. Doesn't cost you anything. It's free 30-day trial. You get to select any book that you want on there and listen to it. They have books on there about breadcrumbing, love bombing, why did they lose interest, dating, relationship, any kind of book you're interested in and want to learn about, okay? You could listen to it in your car or if you're on the bus or the train. So go to my podcast description for the link at tinyurl.com/AskYazNow and start your free trial.